Future me, digital me. I'm gonna start off with something fun and see where it takes me. The internet's out, so there's a lot of like programs or study things, whatever you have it, for helping people learn foreign languages. I think it would be awesome if for us Americans, because we are American, it would be awesome if we had a um, maybe you could call it a seminar or something, but an online kind of thing where people who want to move to a different region, section, whatever of the country could, before they move there, um, could acclimatize themselves to the language and speaking rhythms and such of the area that they're moving to. Like help them blend, sort of. Especially in areas that have very kind of niche vocalizations, if you will, like Boston. Hey, I'm from Boston, blah 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 blah. So you can be like, a program for like, and it'd be like, a list of like, yeah, here's the 24 accents that if you want to pick them up, you gotta be like, You'd be like, select accent, Southie, Bronx, really down south Southern. Ooh, Creole. That sounds fun. Or I don't know so much Creole, but like that Louisiana swamp person was, I'm going down here. That's just like, okay, that doesn't even sound like an actual language. That sounds like you're missing three-quarters of your tongue or something. And like maybe mountain talk or something like, and like West Virginia mountain talk and Western Colorado mountain talk or something like that. Maybe the West mountains have a speech. Portlandia talk. I don't know. Maybe there is such a thing. Whatever. California speak, sir. Yes, I would like a frappuccino with double cream, if you please. Excellent. Thank you. Hmm. It seems you gave me only single cream. Yes. Excellent. The help is diminishing, I would say. I think it would be very excellent. I have not heard of such a speaking or what would that be? I can't think of the word. Accent, kind of. familiarization program. It's all about language, strict language. And my sister had pointed out to me too that there's, you know, of course everybody knows, I think most people know Spanish, like academic Spanish, which is Spain Spanish, and then there's Mexican Spanish. But there's also like um, every country in South America and Central America. It's like every country has their own little different form of Spanish, and even some countries have like 2 or 3 different kinds of Spanish. And it reminds me of D&D. Playing D&D, there were like 3 different forms of speak. There was like high tongue, middle tongue, and low tongue. Or for Elven, they had high Elven and low Elven. Stuff like that. And like every race knew common tongue. And like if you were Elven, you spoke Elven and Common. Dwarven, you knew Dwarven and Common. But if you were from the high echelons of Elven, you really, really, really knew the high tongue. You knew a little bit of the low tongue. And most of the low Elven echelon knew almost no of the high tongue. So there were like different, it was like that in D&D also. At least in the campaign I was playing. They had like all this delineated forms of language. So it's kind of like that with Spanish. It's like they can all kind of understand each other too, because they understand each other, but there's nuance. There's nuance and differentiations because of the culture and the shared cultural history and stuff like that, and because one was a colony of France, one Portugal, one the Netherlands, one England, or whatever. And so, but after all that, they just kind of bled into each other with the Spanish language. Because, reasons, I guess. I don't know. Over the, I guess now it would be 450, almost 500 years. And then there's the relative anomaly of the island of Haiti. Quite frankly, I think we need a universal translator just on Earth. Google. I played Ebony kind of twice. And Google Translator is sometimes, I would say a lot of the times it's sufficient to get a decent message across, but if you were to use a translator like Google Translate in tense diplomatic sessions, someone might die. like unnecessarily. So yeah, and I realize American. This is something weird about America. I don't know exactly why, but it is. Why don't we teach? Why don't we kind of not necessarily mandate, but heavily push Americans to just learn another language? I think Americans have a very odd attitude towards that. How dare you make Americans learn other cultures and about the world? We are the best and the only way to do things. And of course, it has to be a Southern person who does that. When in actuality, every region of America has its own flavor of being stubborn and egotistical and what have you. So I guess you could say that is truly being American. Arrogant as fuck. That is the truly unifying American trait. Arrogance. Maybe that's why other countries kind of hate Americans. Or maybe hate is too strong of a word, but it's like a low rumbling hatred. It's like, God, you guys are so fucking arrogant. Yeah, we kind of are. Like, so maybe that's something we should kind of just be a little bit aware of. It's not necessarily all our fault. Like the educational institutions of a country kind of just embed it, and then like the culture embeds it, and the politics embedded, and like, everything just reinforces the ingrained arrogance. It's hard to run away from. Also, the racism is just hard to dodge. That's why I always say, like everybody that grows up in America, if you're born here and you grow up here, it's just hard to get away from. Because there's so many. I mean, we're all mixed together. People say people want to get rid of DEI and all that garbage. I think it's also like our greatest strength. We're an alloy. Alloys are far stronger than almost every pure substance. America is an alloy. Almost always. Stronger, more resilient, last longer. They, they're better against elements, more versatile in situations. I mean, just go down the checklist. They're just better. So maybe the arrogance is a little bit earned. I don't know. And hence the European Union. It's an alloy. You're welcome, EU. African Union, by the way. Maybe those Asian countries, in that, those island nations, along with South Korea and Vietnam and all those ones that, my geography courses never taught me about. Maybe all of you should start getting together before China wants to take you over. Just start, forming your own coalition. Partner with Australia, because I don't think Australia is part of BRICS yet. Australia would be a good partner. They're doing a lot of things. I think they're trying to do a lot of things on their own. So Australia, being as economically diverse and pretty good on its own, would be a good partner. I realize it's a bunch of white people, and I know how you Asians feel about white people, but just thought. Oh shit, the internet is back up. For now. I don't know why it's so spotty here. Alright, well, tax rich people, ball punch, and kneecap. And you gotta have boobs. Not these boobs, because these are man titties, but, what you can do. Alright, peace out. Peace out.